Hello everybody and welcome if you are new to the channel. My name is Daniel. I talk about Essendon. I love talking about the Bombers. I've been going through all the players on Essendon's list over the last few weeks, and I'm going to be going through the ones I haven't been done over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be going through all of them up until mid-December or so. And today it's time to have a look at Kako, one of, I think, the Essendon supporter base's favourite players. We picked him up last year, 19 years old, as a small forward. He was an NGA prospect, lifelong Essendon supporter. He was picked up at number 13 in the 2024 draft. He is 176 centimetres, 73 kilograms. And look, it had to be said, he had a pretty good year. He played every game for the year. And it looks like, hopefully, based on the sample size that we've seen so far, he's got a whole season of football into him, that he is going to be, the player that we would like him to be. We do have pretty high expectations of our draftees at Essendon, I think. So I think it's important to temper our expectations a little bit. I think a lot of us were probably hoping or expecting, perhaps wrongly expecting, that he would just jump onto the scene and kick 35 goals. He kicked 15, which isn't too bad. I would have liked to have seen him kick a little more. But in a poor team, a team that was injury-stricken, I think he did pretty well, especially moving into the midfield for portions of the last half of the year. He played a little bit in the midfield as well. I do think with Isaac, he does need a little bit of help down there. I think our small forward stocks have been diminished. You've heard me talk quite a bit about our, a mountain of key forwards that we've got. I'm not saying many of them are absolutely superstars or anything, but we got a heap of tall forwards. And I've made other videos about them. 6 players, basically, that can play at full forward. You've probably seen the videos of those. I'm not necessarily going to go through all those players. Small forwards, we've lost a few. We've lost Menzies, we've lost Smart, we've lost Davey, even though he didn't play last year. We've got Gresham and Guelphy, who are getting into their late 20s, and let's face it, probably not really the answer. Guelphy's a bit taller. He can play tall or small, but they're probably not a long-term solution for us. So we do need a little bit of help down there. We have drafted, of course, Hussein Al-Achkar, and I did a video about him, of course, being a recent draftee, but we can't expect Hussein for him and Kako to be a 1-2 punch just yet. I really hope I'm wrong, and I hope they can be next year. But the reality is, I think Kako's going to be pretty much on his own down there, which is going to make life pretty hard for him. You got to remember, Hussein has. Did he play? I think he played a VFL game last year from memory. He might have played one VFL game or two. But the jump from under 18s level to VFL level is big, and then there's a bigger level again to AFL level. So I think we're going to see Hussein Al-Achkar probably plying his trade for a little while in the reserves, as he should, right? We need to get some games into these guys and get them AFL ready. We don't want to throw them into the deep end just yet. But that means Kako will kind of be taking that best defensive small forward again, as he did all year. And he did pretty well. I mean, he didn't get many I can't remember games where he had too many clear-cut opportunities, right? It was really a season that we were dearth of opportunities down there, let's be honest. So he's going to be taking that again. I don't think that Al-Achkar is going to be in the side much next year. I think in beyond 2027 and beyond he will. But next year it's going to be Kako kind of on his own down there again. I was big on getting Doveston. I'm not unhappy that we got Smart. I think Smart's going to be fantastic. But Doveston and Kako would have been a fantastic little combination down there. But look, you can't have everyone. I get it. It's not a perfect world. You can't just pick every player in the draft. You've got to pick with what you got. And look, I'm happy with what we've got. So Kako has a very dynamic playing style. He's a lifelong Essendon supporter. He's got speed and agility, goal sense. He's got finishing. He's got good pressure. That was one thing that was talked about when he made his AFL debut. Has he got that forward pressure? I think he worked really hard on that over the course of 2025 to work on his forward pressure. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a strength, but he at least made it that it wasn't a weakness, and that was, I think, what we wanted to see. He's also pretty versatile, as I just mentioned earlier. He can go into the midfield quite a little bit. He was rated as our 13th best player, which is pretty damn good when you consider that it was his first season. To be rated according to champion data from our 13th best player, and we're talking a sample size of 23 games every game. So if he was our 13th best player, then that's a pretty good sample size to base that on. he averaged 11.2 disposals per game, 4.1 contested disposals, 2.3 tackles, and 15 goals. So room for improvement. I'd like to see him just up that tackle rate a bit. I'd like to see him become a tackling machine because he's built low to the ground, he's quick, and there's no reason why that can't be a strength of his game. And we're just going to get into some of the weaknesses of it. And one of the weaknesses to his game probably is that defensive polish. I think his defensive effort is there, but he's only small and he can be shrugged off the ball easy. So some of his tackles, early tackles, were broken at times. That's what I noticed. Now, that's kind of anecdotally. I don't have any broken tackle statistics, but it kind of looked like he was easily shrugged off because he's small. So that's something he does need to work on, which is fine. It's only going to be his second year. He's obviously, inexperienced still, and he also has that size disadvantage. He's not really an aerial presence or anything like that. And just that scoring consistency, I would like to see him in his second season just move up to that, well, at least a goal a game, if not more. 15 goals in 23 matches was good. But with hopefully a better team next year and a better midfield delivering that ball in there, then I'd like to see him up that to a goal and a bit a match. It's going to be hard, though. It's going to be hard because we don't have a lot of dynamic, small forward presence. Let's just face it. He's kind of it, right? Kind of it, if I'm taking Alachkar out of it because I don't think he'll be playing much. So it's going to be tough for him. But look, it's going to be an exciting year to see his development. I was really happy that he played every game. It's great. I mean, look, there's no point. You can have the best draftees in the world. If they can't get on the park, they're no good to you. And he was one of the few players that played every game for the year. And that was really exciting to see, especially the game he played against the Gold Coast where he got, I think it was the Rising Star nomination, where he had 17 disposals, 7 score involvements in that game, 5 tackles in that game. And he really showed that he can actually play at the highest level. So I expect that he will be, really, really pushing forward and continuing to improve. My questions of him, I've got, well, can he play in the midfield? Can he add more versatility to his game? He did play a bit in the midfield last year, but that was kind of out of necessity a little bit with all the injuries we had. If you look at Nick Watson from Hawthorn, who's kind of a viable comparison, he actually moves into the midfield here and there. I'd like to see Kako do that even more next year. Can he kick more goals? Obviously. Can he average a goal a game? 25 goals, I reckon. 25 to 30, I think would be a great output for him next year and a realistic number for him to try to attain. I think that's a good number. I think he does need to raise that up from the 15 that he kicked last year. Third question I've got is, can he become a tackling machine? This is something that I want him to be. I want him to be that forward pressure, small forward that just keeps the ball in the forward 50. I think he tried. I think his effort is there. Just got shrugged off a little bit. I'd like to see him just build up that body a little bit. He'll never be big. That's because he's a small player. But I'd just like to see him build up that internal strength and external strength to be able to be that tackling machine in the forward line. There's nothing better than having that player in the forward line that even when things aren't going well and he's not kicking goals, he can lay 4 or 5 tackles. I think 2.5 tackles is not much. I'd love to see him average 4 to 5 tackles a game. I think that'd be a valid thing to aim for. So what do you guys think of Isaac Kako? What are you expecting of him next year? What do you think is a realistic amount of goals for him to kick? So make a comment. Let me know. Hit the like button if you like this video. Tell me everything that you think about Isaac Kako, what you think he's going to bring to the team next year. Is there anything I've missed? There's often things that I've missed. I'm not perfect, of course. Is there anything that you'd like to say about him in terms of what he's going to bring to the team next year? So like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Have a great day. And as always, go Bombers.